Welcome to our deep dive into the fascinating history of Arthunkel Church in Kerala, India. You've sent us some really interesting material about it, and we're excited to uncover what makes this church so special.
Well, Arthunkel Church is more than just a beautiful building. It's a testament to centuries of religious harmony and tells a captivating story of how faith can evolve and adapt over time.
I'm intrigued already, and I love how even the name Arthunkel has a bit of mystery to it. What's the story there?
Well, there are two main theories. One suggests that Arthunkel evolved from Arthia, the original name of the location. But the plot thickens with the second theory. It proposes that the name originates from Muthadathunkel, which translates to at Nuthadath, pointing to its historical connection as the capital of the Muthadath kingdom back in the 16th century.
So right from the name, we're already stepping into a historical puzzle. To understand the church's significance, can you paint a picture of the religious landscape in Kerala before the church was built?
Absolutely. Christianity had already taken root in Kerala long before the arrival of Portuguese missionaries. We're talking about the St. Thomas Christians, who traced their lineage all the way back to the Apostle Thomas himself. Imagine centuries of faith and tradition already thriving in the region.
Wow, that's a long and rich history. So when the Portuguese missionaries arrived, did they find conflict or collaboration with the existing Christian community?
Interestingly, the Portuguese saw an opportunity to expand their mission. Many St. Thomas Christians hadn't been formally baptized according to the rites of the Catholic Church, and the missionaries sought to bring them into the fold.
That makes sense. So how did the idea of building Arthunkel Church come about? Was it welcomed with open arms?
Not exactly. While Christians and missionaries desired a dedicated place of worship, the king of Nuthdath, the ruler of the region, was initially hesitant. It took a lot of persistence and perhaps some strategic diplomacy from the missionaries to finally get his approval in 1581.
Ah, the power of persuasion. So what kind of church did they build initially?
Picture this: a simple structure made of wood and coconut leaves. The king even allowed them to use trees from his own land for construction. And here's where it gets really interesting. Local Hindus also helped build the church, reflecting a remarkable spirit of cooperation and interfaith harmony.
That's really striking. It speaks to the idea that this church was truly a community effort from the very beginning. It wasn't just about religion, it was about people coming together. When was this first church finally ready for worship?
On November 30th, 1581, the church was consecrated and dedicated to St. Andrew the Apostle. And get this, even the king of Muthadath attended the consecration. He even urged the vicar to maintain the church as a fitting place of worship.
That's a powerful image, the king himself endorsing this new church. It suggests a shift in his attitude, perhaps even a growing respect for this new faith community. But I'm guessing this simple wooden structure was just the beginning of the Arthunkel story, right?
You're absolutely right. This was merely the first chapter. Things were about to get much more interesting with the arrival of a new priest and a pivotal event that would forever shape the identity of Arthunkel Church.
Okay, now you've really piqued my curiosity. A new priest and a pivotal event. This sounds like the perfect cliffhanger to leave our listener on. We'll have to delve deeper into the story in part 2 of our deep dive.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the history of Arthunkel Church. We left off with the king of Nuthdath giving his blessing to the newly built church. It felt like a real turning point in the story. What happened next?
You're right, that moment set the stage for some remarkable developments. Sadly, the first vicar, Father Gaspar Pius, didn't lead the church for very long due to the challenging conditions at the time. But then, on St. Andrew's feast day in 1583, something incredible happened. A mass baptism of 500 St. Thomas Christians took place.
500 people in a single day. That's a huge number. What led to such a massive conversion event? It's a testament to the growing influence of Christianity in the region. These converts became known as the Anjotikar, which literally means the 500 people, forever etching their place in Arthunkel's history. And that's not all. That same day, a Nair Knight and his soldiers decided to convert, with the king himself present.
This suggests a real shift in the social dynamics of the region. To have a prominent figure like a Nair Knight embrace Christianity, and with the king's apparent acceptance, it makes you wonder if there was any resistance from those who felt threatened by this new faith.
It's a fascinating question. The sources we have don't detail any specific opposition, but it's certainly something to consider. This period saw a wave of conversions, and Arthunkel Church was right at the heart of it. And this wave was further amplified by the arrival of Father Giacomo Fenicio in 1584. He's a pivotal figure in the story of Arthunkel.
Okay, let's talk about Father Fenicio. What made him such a key figure?
For starters, he spearheaded the construction of a new church, a more permanent structure built with stone and lime, replacing the earlier one made of wood and coconut leaves.
That sounds like a significant upgrade. It must have taken quite a bit of effort to build something so substantial.
It did. The construction took 7 years to complete. But Father Fenicio's influence went far beyond bricks and mortar. He possessed an incredible charisma and was deeply loved by the people, both Hindus and Christians. He was seen as a holy man, even in his lifetime. They affectionately called him Veluthachan, meaning White Father.
Veluthachan, it's such a warm and personal nickname. It speaks volumes about the connection he had with the community. And you mentioned that even Hindus revered him.
Yes. He was known for his compassion and was believed to have performed miracles. People, regardless of their faith, flocked to him for blessings and healing. He was even called the Second Apostle of the East, reflecting his profound impact on the region.
Second Apostle of the East, that's an incredibly powerful title. It suggests he wasn't just a local figure, but had a reputation that extended far beyond Arthunkel. Did he live out his days in Arthunkel?
He did. When he died in 1632, a massive crowd, including local rulers, came to pay their respects. He was buried inside the church, and his tomb became a site of pilgrimage and prayer.
So Father Fenicio leaves behind this legacy of holiness and miracles. What happened to the stone church he built after his death? Did it remain unchanged over the years?
Not quite. A few decades later, Father Fonsaco, who took charge of the church, decided to reconstruct it, this time with the elevation facing west, a change from its previous orientation.
That's interesting. Was there a reason for this change?
The exact reason isn't entirely clear, but it's worth noting that around this time, the miraculous statue of Saint Sebastian arrived from Milan. It's possible that the westward-facing elevation was intended to honor Saint Sebastian in some way.
So the arrival of the Saint Sebastian statue might hold a clue to this architectural shift. And this brings us back to the nickname Veluthachan. Didn't you say it later became associated with Saint Sebastian? That's quite a curious twist.
It is. And it might be connected to Father Fenicio's enduring popularity and the use of the nickname Veluthachan. Some believe that over time, people started associating Veluthachan with Saint Sebastian, perhaps because of the perceived similarities in their holiness and healing powers.
So it wasn't an overnight change, but a gradual merging of identities, fueled by the devotion of the people. It shows how traditions can evolve and intertwine in fascinating ways. What happened next in the Arthunkel story?
Well, in the late 18th century, the administration of Arthunkel Church was entrusted to the Carmelite missionaries, marking another significant shift in its journey. This period witnessed a pivotal event, the ordination of Saint Chavara Kyriakos Elias in 1829.
Another saint. It seems Arthunkel Church played a role in the making of a saint. Tell me more about Saint Chavara Kyriakos Elias.
He was a remarkable figure who went on to become a renowned social reformer and educator. He was ordained right there in Arthunkel Church and left an indelible mark on the history of Christianity in Kerala.
So we have the arrival of the Carmelite missionaries and the ordination of a future saint. This feels like another turning point in Arthunkel's story. What direction did the church take from here?
Up until this point, Arthunkel Church had always been led by European priests. But in the second half of the 19th century, a significant change occurred. Father Gaspar Bailon de Meritorius Kaitha Villapillo became the vicar.
What made Father Gaspar's appointment so significant?
He was the first local priest to lead Arthunkel Church. This marked a crucial step towards greater indigenous leadership within the church in Kerala. It symbolized the church taking root and flourishing within the local community.
That's a really powerful symbol of the church's growth and evolution. So from a humble structure built with local materials to a grand stone church led by a local priest, Arthunkel Church had come a long way. Where does the story go from here?
This leads us to the 20th century and the construction of the present-day church as we know it. The church you see today is actually the result of yet another transformation, reflecting the continued growth and aspirations of the Arthunkel community.
Hold on, are you saying that the church Father Fenicio built, and even the one Father Fonsaco reconstructed, are not the churches that stand today? This is incredible. From a simple wooden structure to a grand new edifice, the Arthunkel Church has gone through quite a journey.
It really has. Each iteration of the church represents a chapter in its ongoing story. each one a testament to the enduring faith and dedication of the people who shaped its destiny.
I'm on the edge of my seat. We've uncovered so much already. Mystery surrounding the name, the arrival of missionaries, the influence of remarkable priests, and the evolution of traditions. What more can you tell us about this present-day church and how Arthunkel continues to thrive in modern times?
Well, for that, you'll have to wait for part 3 of our deep dive. We'll explore the final chapter in Arthunkel's story and uncover the mysteries that still linger.
Oh, more mysteries. I can't wait. We'll leave our listener eager to discover what happened next in this fascinating journey through time and faith. Stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive into Arthunkel Church.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the history of Arthunkel Church. We've journeyed through centuries, witnessing the church's evolution from a humble wooden structure to a grand stone edifice. Now, I'm eager to learn about this present-day church. What can you tell us about its construction?
The present-day church, whose foundation was laid in 1910, owes its existence to the vision and dedication of several remarkable individuals. We can start with Father Sebastian Presentation, known for his piety and devotion.
Okay.
He was followed by Msuger Silverius Jackson, who went on to become the first Vicar General of the Diocese of Alappuzha. Imagine that, from serving in Arthunkel Church to holding such a prominent position.
That's quite a journey. It speaks to the caliber of leadership nurtured within the Arthunkel community. But who actually oversaw the completion of this grand structure we've been talking about?
The credit for that goes to Msuger Daniel Kurisunkel.
He played a crucial role in bringing this vision to reality. And the legacy of dedicated leadership continued with a succession of individuals who contributed to the church's growth and spiritual development. We have Manskor Peter Karamancher, Manskor Andrew P. Thekavedo, Reverend Dr. Dominic Coyle Parambo, Reverend 4 Paul Oracle, and Reverend 4 Marian Jose Pereira, each one adding their own chapter to the ongoing story of Arthunkel Church.
It's inspiring to see how each individual played a part in shaping this vibrant community, carrying the torch forward from one generation to the next. It truly embodies that sense of continuity and shared purpose we've been exploring. Who leads the Arthunkel community today?
The current rector, Vicar Forain and parish priest of the Basilica, is Fr. Stephen J. Punicle. He's the caretaker of this incredible legacy, guiding the church in the 21st century.
With such a rich history and an active community, I imagine Fr. Punicle has a team supporting him in his responsibilities.
Of course. He has 2 assistants, Fr. Cyrus Thomas Katongalzile and Fr. Michael George Aran Parambo. And we can't forget St. Rita's Church, closely connected to the Basilica, with Fr. George Bivolan Aratukalam serving as its chaplain.
It sounds like a bustling and vibrant community, full of life and dedicated to keeping the spirit of Arthunkel alive. As we wrap up this incredible deep dive, what are the key takeaways you hope our listener will carry with them about Arthunkel Church?
Well, Arthunkel Church is so much more than just a building. It's a living testament to the power of faith, to endure and transform over time. We've seen how it evolved from a humble beginning to become a symbol of religious harmony, with Hindus and Christians sharing in its construction and spiritual significance.
It's also a testament to the remarkable individuals who shaped its destiny. The missionaries, priests, and even saints who walked its halls and left their mark on its story. And of course, we can't forget the lingering mysteries. The shift from Veluthachan, Father Fenicio's nickname, to the veneration of St. Sebastian and the stories of Father Fenicio's miracles. These unanswered questions add another layer of intrigue to the Arthunkel narrative. I think the story of Arthunkel Church teaches us that history is never static. It's a constantly evolving narrative, shaped by the beliefs, actions, and interactions of the people who lived through it. And even within established traditions, we find fascinating origins, unexpected twists, and enduring mysteries waiting to be uncovered.
Beautifully said. The Arthunkel story reminds us to stay curious, to keep questioning, and to appreciate the intricate ways in which the past continues to shape the present.
Thank you for taking us on this remarkable journey. And to our listener, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore the world around you with a renewed sense of wonder. Who knows what fascinating stories you might find hidden in plain sight?